What's up, guys, and thanks for watching. We're out here at just a beautiful early spring day out here at the property. I'm going to show you guys the cabin, kind of do a little walk around on it, just kind of get into how it's set up and so forth. The cabin itself is just a regular 20-foot shipping container. Nothing really fancy as far as that is. We did just kind of show you from a distance here before we get up on it, but you can just see where we've had some modifications done. Now, this was not done by a place that specializes in like hunting cabins or shipping container cabins. They basically specialize in almost like office type cabins. So the kind of thing you would see, like if you go to a job site or something, you'll see them sitting out there, that kind of thing. And because of that, we're able to get it pretty budget. Honestly, a lot of the shipping container stuff I see online, it's just, in my opinion, it's so expensive. I know there's a lot of work that goes into it, but this one's pretty much just an empty shell inside. So before we get to some of the details on the outside, the inside is just, it's got 2x4s lined against the wall that are flat up against the wall. There is some insulation in it. You wouldn't want to have them sticking out because you would lose square footage, but this thing has been just phenomenal for us. And you can see that we are actually, I can't call it off the grid because we are officially on the grid. We do plan to, hopefully, Lord willing, build a house out here. So we went ahead and ran power, but we originally had this thing, we set it up. We were running on a generator, and we were thinking about doing solar, but since we had decided to come out here and build, we just went ahead and ran the power. So just on this part real quick, the hookup's just a standard 30 amps. So something you would have at if you're running an RV, camper, something like that. And then if I just got it on the box over here, they wouldn't let me put the meter on the cabin because they don't consider it a permanent structure, which is fine. But we do have the windows on it, and you can see we've also got a rooftop deck. So the cabin itself was built and painted by the place that we went through. They put the windows in, so we finished everything else. So me and my sons built the rooftop deck. Now what they did do, this is funny, not really ha-ha funny, but it's funny. You can see let's see if I can get a better look at it. No, I'm not tall enough. There's angle iron all the way down through there. They TIG welded every bit of that down through there. And then what we did for the floor joists, we just used grade 8 bolts with nylock nuts. And we lined those up, and then we did 2x6s up top for the decking, all pressure treated, of course. Now, the funny and not ha-ha funny part was that the angle iron is not, it's not perfectly 90 degrees. We learned that the hard way. So as we were running the joist down, we had to start over about 4 of them in because we couldn't use that as a point for reference. So, but it turned out well. It's very stout. Now, before we get up close, one thing that is funny, you can see here, there were some trees that we had left. We came out here one day, and a tree was literally leaning just like the ladder up against the cabin. Didn't even budge it. If this was a stick built or a really weak camp or something like that, it would have absolutely screwed it up. So, but it's just sitting out here right now on these cinder blocks on all corners, and of course the ones up front, it is elevated a little bit more. And then we've got anchors into the ground. Now the reason for the anchors, it's probably more peace of mind than anything else, but those are about 3 to 4 feet hammered down into the ground. And my logic here, if it's sound, is that if the cabin moves at all, you can see these are loose because you can't get them perfectly tight. I'll notice it if it shifts, and hopefully if it ever shifts, that it'll keep it from moving anymore. But if it does nothing at all, it just gives me some hopeful peace of mind, if that makes sense. But you can see here, we've actually got bigger windows on the side. They are tremendous. We do have bars on it just for security. I feel like I shouldn't have to do that, but that's kind of the way things are. And then the setup here, and oh, by the way, these are the windows, and everything that's in here is the typical type of windows you could buy at Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever. So if we ever have to go in and replace anything, it should be pretty straightforward. And then for getting on the roof, I actually struggled with this one for quite a bit. Let's see if I can get a better angle of it. I actually struggled with this kind of bit, like what's the best way to do it. So I finally just said the heck with it and bought just an aluminum ladder sitting on some paving stone or some pieces of concrete block down there. And then I just kind of fabbed up some 2x4s and some brackets to just kind of hold it in place, because I could have gotten cutesy and put stairs and all that. But the funny thing is the ladder is so cheap and light, and I can use it for just about anything around this property if I need it. So, and nobody's ever messed with it, so that's good. And no, there is not a railing up there for all of you safety experts. That is coming soon. But we'll get up there in a minute and talk about the deck in just a second. The cool thing about this cabin, though, is I'm going to walk around the other side too, is how sturdy it is. I mean, and how maintenance free it is. The only thing we really need to do is get out here with a pressure washer. But I would need to have some way to transport water with a pump. Maybe in the future when I'm living out here I can. That's it. And I've already got the paint color, so it's not a big deal. We've got air conditioning, which is great. It's a must-have out here in the summer. And of course, if you're on the grid, I mean, gosh, who wouldn't want AC? And then for heat, we just run like a little portable oil-type heater that just does great in there. It'll heat you out. I've actually been in there when it's in the mid-20s, and I've gotten it up to about 70, 72 degrees. This side's kind of more of the same, so not much of a difference there. But this isn't the good part. We're going to walk around. I'm going to set this camera up and show you folks how this thing, the front opens and how we set that up. So let me go around here. Let's get this camera set up on a stand and we'll be right with you. All right, I'm going to kind of show you folks how this thing works with it behind the doors like this. So the cool thing is that you've got these doors sealing this thing up. I do keep locks on it, of course, when we're not here, but I mean, it is sealed up. And all we do when we come out, you open these doors, which can sometimes be a pain. Pretty nifty. And then do the other side. And that works out pretty darn well if you ask me. Get you guys a closer look here. You can see here, you got the little front porch. And then there's a wall inside the container that's kind of inset. It's about, I want to say, 2.5 feet, something like that. And that was actually the idea of the gentleman that was helping me with it, because what it does is it kind of gives you almost like a little tiny, like he was calling it, like a mudroom area. But you know what I mean. You can put your shoes there, whatever. Even got another outlet right there that's pretty handy. Window right here, which is nice. You can open up the side windows and have everything flowing through. And of course the door, which is just a standard door. But that makes all the difference in the world. And you don't have to worry about any of this being exposed to the elements because it is sealed up. Another thing too, with this porch, we built this porch in our garage, actually the frame of it. And we carried it out here in the truck, which was interesting. And then we just finished it up. So it's very nice. Probably gonna, between these footers or whatever you want to call it, foundation it's sitting on in the porch, probably going to expand this in the future just to give more room, because now that we know we're going to be using this a lot, even when we live out here, we're going to have use for this cabin. But it's very nice and it's very sealed up. You can leave this thing here all night for months at a time, and you just don't feel like something's going to happen to it, if that makes sense. And then what's funny up here, whenever we were doing the top deck, which we'll get up in the top here in a moment, I actually left the overhang because I thought it looked pretty cool. It kind of gave it like a rustic look. Yes, you got to be careful up there, but again, we're gonna work on getting a railing up there for that. But that works pretty cool. Let me see if I can walk down this way just to kind of give you an idea from the other side there. But we love this cabin, and the nice thing about it too is that you feel pretty secure in it when you're in it, which is really nice. You don't feel like something's going to happen or anything like that. But here's another view of it from a distance. Just really cool. Actually, I should come down here. There we go. So that's pretty much it on the outside. Again, we'll get up on the top deck here in just a moment, but it is a great setup. Highly recommended. I'm so glad we didn't do something small that was either site built or, you know, anything that was kind of more modular that would just be delivered out here. Oh, and speaking of delivery, that is the one thing. These things have to have space, room to be delivered in. So the one downside of something like this is you're not going to be able to do site built. So you're going to have room. As you can see, we got a road through there. You're going to have room. And they just brought this out here on a flatbed and dropped it right there on some blocks. And we just started leveling it out and working on it from there. But let's get on this top and I'll show you guys how it looks from up there. All right, made it to the top. That's good. So Very nice view up here. You can see, we're just gonna do a little walk around. Very sturdy, very nice setup. And you can see here, just looking, I mean, this is a very good view of a portion of the property here. Ironically, we don't come up here that much, but one thing that we thought of that we could do in the future is, number one, as I've said, add a railing, but you could actually put a tent up here, which I thought would be a cool idea if you just wanted to have some, you had some kids out here or something wanted to stay, and of course having the railing and all that, keeping it secure. But as level as it is, it'd be a really cool little spot. But when we built this, we didn't even have power. All we did just use the generator to make the cuts, so we had to make everything as user friendly as possible with the boards that we ordered, and it worked out absolutely great. And of course, this is all pressure treated 2x6s, and it came out pretty spot on. So we were able to do this. We were able to do all the deck work pretty much off the grid. And then you can see what we did with the ladder here. This is just attached to those 2x4s with some kind of a bracket I had going through that top rung. It works well, but if we end up putting a railing and going there, I don't know. I might end up doing a staircase going up the side, especially if you've got some folks that are just not as willing to go up ladders as others. But it's a good view. It's a beautiful day. We love the cabin. It's been a difference maker. So if you've got property out there and you're thinking about it, do it. Check with some places that do these shipping containers for like offices and stuff. You don't have to go and do an official cabin place, if that makes sense, although you could. I'm not knocking them. I'm sure they do good stuff, but a lot of them will give you a lot of good stuff inside, but ours is just basic. It's just the bare essentials that you need to kind of survive out here, and we love it. So thanks, everyone. I appreciate you watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from it, and we'll have, probably going to have some more content on this cabin in the future.